Hey everybody, this is Kim with BigSense. I'm so great to be here in order to talk to you guys today. I have a topic that I want to discuss and it's very near and dear to my heart. And that topic is relationship goals. I'm using this as a spinoff. Last week, I brought you guys Grown Folks Want Real Relationships. And that was a panel that I decided to put together because it's so many different people that's pretty much spinning their wheels. Because at this point in our life, we're all chasing the bag. We all have different things that we're doing in order to make ourselves better in this life. And sometimes it's kind of hard meeting people when you're in your profession. So I wanted to bring people together that are busy people, professional people, and I wanted you to get a chance to see those people explain about their life and why it's hard for them to find love. So hopefully everybody will have an idea of how to deal with those types of people. Now, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it. I want everybody to know that I have a YouTube channel and it's called BigSense. And I want you guys to be sure and like and subscribe. Go to my YouTube channel and check it out. You're going to be able to find other topics that may fit in your lifestyle that you want to listen to, and maybe it will be able to help you. Now, getting back on subject to relationship goals. Now, I know everybody wants to be in love, and hey, I get it. One thing that comes to mind is hot girl season is almost up. Well, actually, it's pretty much up because the weather is changing. I'm from the South, so quite naturally, it's starting to get a little chilly in the air. And it's time for everybody to snuggle up and find that loved one. So I just want to give you guys some tips when you're out meeting and mingling with other people. Maybe this is something that will be able to help you. And also this could be something to be able to help you to find that special somebody. So let's go ahead and get started. One small detail always seems to stand out in regards to finding that special someone. We need to learn how to love ourselves first before we can love someone else. Now, we all want to be out here and we want to do that meeting and greeting, but there's issues that's going on with us that we refuse to deal with. And that's putting yourself first. If you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? There are so many different things that we deal with in our life, and we refuse to get any type of healing. So I want to kind of point out some different things to you in order to find what it is that you're looking for. Now, you would think that everybody is capable of loving themselves first. And that is such a cliche. And one of the reasons why I call that a cliche is because if we genuinely loved ourselves, then we wouldn't always get the short end of the stick when it comes to a relationship. Because so many times we allow ourselves to be the dumping ground for people that have been hurt, including ourselves. So we're not able to have the relationship that we deserve to have because we're busy dealing with issues and problems that we're coming into the relationship with. And this is what I want to talk about. I hope I got you guys' attention from that. And I want you guys to just really pay attention. For those of you that's driving, you might want to cut that radio up a little bit. For those of you that may be in your home, take out your pen and paper. Maybe this can help you. Rule number 1. Have you dealt with your mental issues? I know that is something nobody wants to even think about, which are mental issues. We all have them. A lot of times we need to be able to sit down and speak with professionals about different childhood traumas that we have dealt with in our life. Nobody really wants to have a real conversation about that and how important it is to deal with our mental health. I'm sure many of us have been in relationships, and let's just put it on the table. We have all allowed people to lay their burdens on our shoulders. Now you're dealing with your past and someone else's problems. No pun intended. We first have to make ourselves a priority and receive help that we need from a therapist. When I say a therapist, I'm referring to a professional, not Pookie and them. What I mean by Pookie and them is our friends. A lot of times we want to go to them. But keep in mind, they have their own issues that they have to deal with. So it's best to go to someone that is not going to judge you and is able to hear you out and give you the tools that you need in order to solve your own problems. Because we are problem solvers. We live in an educated world, and there is no reason why we are not able to find someone, because we deserve love. But in order for us to get the love that we need, we first have to love ourselves. You need to make sure that you are in a good place. Everybody has dealt with some type of childhood issue. And let me give you an example of childhood issue. No validation, verbal abuse, molestation, peers picking on you, low self-esteem, and the list go on and on. These are things that we dealt with from our childhood issues. And these are things that we need to talk to a therapist about, so they can help us to overcome those things so that we can be made whole when we go into a relationship. In our adolescent stage, whenever trauma you dealt with, if you never healed from the hurt, you can transfer the trauma onto someone else. Go figure. So basically you have two people in a relationship that have childhood trauma, and we're both hitting each other over the head with our problems. And nothing is getting solved because we can't even solve the problems for ourselves. How can we possibly solve the problem for someone else? You can't. That's why it's hard for two hurt people to get together and think that you're going to have a successful relationship. It just do not add up. Women, you're finding yourself in a relationship by yourself. You have needs. You want conversation. You're looking for someone that is an intellectual, that is able to give you information needed in order to solve some different things that you're dealing with in your life. And when you're dealing with a man that have been hurt from a past relationship, he's busy licking his own wounds. He don't have time to help you because he's trying to help himself. And that's only if he have decided and understand that he needs the help. And vice versa for men. You are looking for a woman that you are able to talk to and be honest and real. But because she have dealt with a man that have broken her heart, she's now looking at you trying to do the same thing. So she's now on this journey of, I'm going to get you back before you get me. And those are not healthy relationships. Now, let's go back to a relationship. Back on the topic. Someone you care about is getting the short end of the stick. And that person that you care about should be you, especially if you have done the work in your life. If you have spoken to a professional and they have given you the tools that's needed in order for you to heal yourself, why would you go into a relationship with someone that have not been healed. That person is not able to put their best foot forward because they have a chain and a ball still attached to their leg. And that's their burdens and their problems that is unhealed that they are bringing into a brand new relationship that don't even have anything to do with you. So that should be the first sign that you see if you need to be in a healthy relationship with someone. Now, many times, going back into our past and looking at the childhood trauma, a lot of those traumas came from our parents because they only did what was best, at least what they thought was best. Because they take what they have learned and they can only show you and give you what they know, especially if they have not dealt with their childhood trauma. So let's think about this. If you have parents that's been hurt, if you have grandparents that have been hurt, and on and on and on, would that be called a generational curse? I bet you some of you have never even looked at it like that. Generational curses. So if you find yourself being sensitive to what we're talking about right now, and if this conversation is giving you an ounce of triggers, if you're receiving triggers, meaning you might want to turn the station, you may not want to listen to it, you may be wiggling a little bit in your seat, this is for you. Because guess what that means? You're the generational curse breaker. You may be the very first one in your family to break this generational curse, and you may be the very first one to have a real relationship that you are truly happy with. You probably won't be one of those people that's faking it until they make it. And you may be able to show other people the way to success when it comes to being in a relationship. We are supposed to hold. We are supposed to be in a dating game and finding what's best for us or what's good for us. What does that mean? A lot of people out here are in relationships and they have not been made whole. Well, BigSense, what are you talking about? They haven't been made whole. Because if you're still dealing with trauma, you're half. You're not complete because you have not solved your problem. And you have not received the healing that you need in order to be made whole. So you have a lot of half people trying to make a relationship, and it can't come together because the ingredient that's missing is you taking care of your mental health. And a lot of people look at mental health as something that's not heard of. I can only speak for myself. A lot of times families like to sweep things under the rug. We want to put ourselves out here in front of people and make them think that we have it all together. But the reality is we don't have it all together. It is only so long before you can sweep something under the rug before somebody sees the trash on the side of the rug. And they begin to wonder where that trash is coming from. And they find out that some things have been hid out. And that is the story of our life. Nobody is perfect. And we're all on the same path. Somebody have to make it up in their heart and in their mind and in their spirit that they don't want to do what everybody else is doing. and they are looking for change. And we are all looking for true happiness. At least I know that's what I'm looking for. No one can make you whole but you. Let me say that one more time, because I'm pretty sure somebody right now is just really listening. No one can make you whole but you. What does that mean? You have to do the work. You have to do the work in order to make yourself whole. We are not ready for a relationship when we don't know how to love ourselves first. Because when you truly love yourself, you don't hurt yourself. You don't sabotage yourself. You don't speak negative to yourself. When you are truly healthy, you will begin to process information different. When you love yourself, you take care of yourself. And you pour into yourself. Anybody that is negative, you find yourself moving away from them because you have learned to love yourself. When the world tries to beat us down with problems and issues, you are now able to point out what you will deal with and what you absolutely will not deal with, because you have done the work. When you do the work, you will begin to see life more clear. I was put here to do a service for others. When you do the work, you start to see things more clear. And one thing that pointed out to me is my job is to do a service not only for myself, but whoever will listen. To teach and help other individuals along their life journey. I am on this earth to raise the vibration and give people hope for the future. We are all responsible for one person, which is yourself first. In order for you to be the best version of yourself for others. I'm not dismissing our struggles or our pain, but take that energy and turn it into power for your growth. Guess what? We are here to rewrite our story. Even though the cards are stacked against us, and I'm referring to everybody in the world because we all have problems, but we can rewrite our story. Even though bad things may have happened to us in our childhood, that is not where your story ends. Because you can take that pain and you can turn it into power. Not only to help yourself, but to help so many other people that is struggling with that. I'm so sorry whatever it was that happened to you in your childhood. I'm sorry that happened to you. But you know what? It happened in order for you to gain power from it and to teach other people that is struggling right now. There is somebody right now that have given up on themselves and they don't feel worthy. I'm talking to you right now. You are worthy. And you have so much power. And you can be whatever you want to be. Don't allow that negativity to cause you to struggle on your journey. I want you to learn from that. And I want you to think outside of the box of what you can do to break free from that one thing that is holding your mind in captivity. And I want you to break from it. I want you to overcome it. So many of you have family that have counted you out. And I want you to not only show them, but show yourself that you are not who they say that you are. You are much better than that. And you are equipped with everything that you need in order to be a overcomer. So that brings me to my next lesson. Rewrite your story. And how do you go about rewriting your story? You need boundaries. That's right. You have to have boundaries. I never really understood that until I dealt with this last relationship that I'm in now. And you have to have boundaries because boundaries is considered as insurance to keep you from getting hurt. That's what boundaries are. You need at least 5 personal boundaries or rules that you live by. Let's think about all the relationships that you have been in and what worked and what didn't work. Think about that. All the relationships that you have been in. So what this means is you're going to have to take some accountability for your actions. What did you do in that relationship that you feel like you could have done better? What could you have done? Why did that relationship go bad? What was you responsible for? What could you have done better? Here's another. What could have been a deal breaker for you? A lot of times we get in relationships and we find ourselves being in them for too long with the wrong people. When you have boundaries and when you live by boundaries, then you already know something that has happened within that relationship and you were supposed to have broken free from that. Now, one thing that I have noticed, I've listened to a lot of people talk about relationships, and one thing that comes to mind when it comes to that topic is you have a lot of men and you also have a lot of women that will go ghost in a relationship. And you know what? I was really concerned about that because I was like, why would somebody walk away and not even tell the person what happened? I find that to be a broken person. That's one of those people that I would put under the topic of half, because they have not healed. They have wounds and they have not healed from that. That person needs help. So if anyone out there have been ghosted, count it as a blessing, because that person did you a service. Because they really could have messed your life up. Any man or woman that is not able to stand in their truth and tell you, hey, you know what, I was looking for something, and what I'm looking for, I don't really see that in this relationship, so I just don't really want to go any further. It don't have anything to do with you. It's just something personal within me. So, I hope we can be friends, but I'm going to give this a no-go. That's what a mature individual would do. I mean, and how could you get upset or get angry at that person for giving you the truth? Because now you can gather your marbles and you can say, okay, well, I understand, I get it. I hope you find what you're looking for. And I appreciate you telling me your honesty. How can you get mad at somebody? People that get mad at people at the very beginning when they say, hey, this isn't really working for me. And I don't want to go any further. When you're healed, you can respect that, because there will be a time where it will be your turn. Because when it comes to meeting people for the first time, you need to position yourself as if you're doing an interview for a job. You have done the work, you have the boundaries, and now you're ready to start mingling with others. So it's almost like doing a separation between friends and foes. When you do the work on yourself, you will find that your area of friends is very small, because people will show you their hand. You just have to take the time to listen. They will tell you. You have to listen. And keep in mind, they was for real the first time. See, if you sit down and just really think about all the relationships that you have been in, and you remember some of the conversations that someone had and they kind of laughed about it, that's pretty much what the devil does. He will tell you the truth and he will laugh as if it was a joke. So you don't believe it. Therefore, you don't trust yourself. That's what that's all about. It's to keep you from trusting your intuitions. A lot of times someone will do something right in front of you and you will question what they did and say, you know what, I don't think they really did that. Yes, they did. And what that means is you have to make a decision. Whatever that person did, if it goes against your boundaries, you have a decision that you have to make. Either you're going to keep that person around and get hurt because they have already showed you and you already felt it, or you're going to protect yourself with your insurance called boundaries, and then you're going to have a tough conversation. You know what? I don't think you're you're right for me. You're not really what I'm looking for. Sometimes we have to save ourselves. You're only responsible for yourself when it comes to a relationship. You're responsible. Every party is responsible. And you are able to pick and choose what's right for you. We're all able to pick and choose. Be sure and check out my YouTube channel. And one of the reasons why I'm ending it like this is because my time is almost up. And I really enjoy talking to you guys. So if you want to hear more things that I'm dealing with and different special topics, that I'm dealing with, be sure and check out BigSense on YouTube. BigSense, BigSense. Like and subscribe. So I'm out of time, guys. But as always, I can't wait to see you in your future. Mwah.